Stefanski is never going to give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity. He's not. And I think I understand the assignment now. You look at this game, and Kevin Stefanski is almost like the captain on the ship of the Titanic. He's going down with the ship. His way, nobody else's way. Myles Garrett just set a franchise record with 5 sacks in a game, and they lost 32-13 because Kevin Stefanski is not what's doing in the best interest.
The Browns just did it again. They turned what could have been a fairy tale comeback into straight-up chaos. RG3 and Myles Garrett are heated, the locker room's tense, and poor Shedeur Sanders is catching strays like he signed up for dodgeball boot camp. This isn't just another loss, it's a meltdown. They said, "Oh, it's major. Oh, it's major, all right." The kind that makes fans stare at the screen wondering if Cleveland's cursed or just addicted to pain. What did the coach pull this time? And why does this team keep turning every moment of hope into a full-blown disaster? Let's unpack this madness. Myles Garrett just dropped one of the coldest defensive games in NFL history. 5 sacks. Count them. 5. A franchise record. A performance so elite it deserves its own museum exhibit with flashing lights and dramatic music. Yet instead of popping champagne, Garrett walked off looking like a man who just saw his offense trip over its own feet in slow motion. He was out there destroying quarterbacks like a one-man wrecking crew while the offense stood around with the vibe of a dead battery. Garrett slammed his helmet so hard, you could feel the frustration across the stadium. Pure heartbreak from a man giving everything while watching his team do nothing. Only in Cleveland can the defense perform miracles while the offense invents new ways to disappoint. 13 points. That's all they could manage after a historic defensive clinic. And when Garrett said he'd trade every sack for a win, you knew he meant it. You could feel that pain in his voice. The pain of greatness wasted, effort ignored, and a team that somehow keeps rewriting the definition of tragic football.
You, just to see if it does anything to the offense, give him an opportunity to go in there and play.
Yeah, obviously my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
If he had said to you guys, hey, I want to play, I can play, I mean, would that have factored into this at all? Or what was the thinking behind that and how'd that go?
Yeah, he obviously came in Saturday with his back injury. We were hopeful that he'd be able to move around well enough to suit up on Sunday, but put him through a pregame warm-up, and obviously just didn't feel like he was.
Imagine grinding harder than anyone else, breaking records, making history, and your quarterback's out there playing like he borrowed the wrong team's playbook. It's not just frustration anymore, it's pure despair. Garrett doesn't just want to win, he wants his effort to mean something. Right now, Cleveland's making him feel like a superhero trapped in the world's worst sequel. All power, no payoff, and surrounded by teammates who can't read the script. Meanwhile, RG3 is online doing what he does best, saying everything the fans are screaming in silence. He went nuclear, blasting Stefanski like a man who's done pretending. He said what everyone's been thinking since kickoff. Kevin Stefanski has officially lost his mind. And the crazy part, he's not wrong. The Browns look like a dynasty on defense, but thanks to the offense, it felt like watching a Ferrari stuck in traffic with the handbrake on. The defense gave them everything. 5 brutal sacks from Garrett, key turnovers, pride, and prime field position. But what did the offense do with all that? 2 ugly interceptions, 1 embarrassing safety, and rhythm so offbeat it made fans want to throw the TV remote. Dillon Gabriel looked like he was trying to solve a Rubik's Cube mid-pass, completely lost in his own head. And let's be real.
Does the loss diminish how you feel about your performance today at all, I guess?
I would throw the whole performance away for a win. I'm frustrated. I want to win. I don't care how much time is on the clock. They got their starters in. There's a chance we can win. I want to be a part of that. I don't care how dire the situation looks.
This isn't just bad football, it's stubborn coaching. Stefanski's post-game presser should have been easy. We're reevaluating everything. That's what normal coaches say when their team face plants. But not Stefanski. Oh no, he doubled down like he's daring the city to riot. Dillon Gabriel will remain the starter after the bye, he said, like watching your house burn and deciding to keep the same lighter. Garrett's rage wasn't just about losing, it was about that statement. The man gave Cleveland a defensive masterpiece, one for the history books, and the head coach basically said, "We're good." We're good? No, coach. You're delusional. You could see it on Garrett's face, that drained, disbelieving stare that said it all. It wasn't just another loss to the Patriots, it was a loss to logic itself. The man looked like he had the Windows error screen running behind his eyes. Every play felt like a cruel prank on common sense. That first interception? Straight comedy. Dillon Gabriel threw it 2 yards behind his receiver, like he was aiming for a ghost. That's not mistiming, that's telepathy gone completely wrong. And that safety? Oh, that was performance art. He dropped the ball in his own end zone, then panicked and committed intentional grounding like he was allergic to good decisions. 2 easy points for New England, and another viral moment for the Browns' never-ending blooper reel. Local analysts lost their minds.
I got nothing against the young man. I think he's a phenomenal college quarterback who has an opportunity to be a contributor in the NFL. But when your coach comes out and doesn't hold the starting quarterback accountable for not playing well, regardless of whether he is a young quarterback or not, doesn't watch the film and immediately comes out in the press conference and says, "I'm going to stick with Dillon Gabriel after the bye week," knowing that Myles Garrett isn't throwing his helmet on the sideline because he was upset that he didn't get more sacks. Myles Garrett was upset that his 5 sacks.
Reggie Bush summed it up perfectly when he said, "Quarterbacks are supposed to be supercomputers, not slow calculators. You're not supposed to toss the ball into nothingness while the entire stadium watches in stunned silence. Plays like that make defensive coordinators start praying on the sidelines, hands clasped, hoping to survive the next drive." And the real kicker? Stefanski chose this. This is his guy. His hand-picked, carefully molded project, Dillon Gabriel. The same quarterback he built the entire offense around, like constructing a luxury car powered by a hamster wheel. If this is what quarterback development looks like, then the Browns have just invented a brand new way to lose games creatively. The logic doesn't add up. You got Shedeur Sanders sitting on the bench, young, electric, confident, and ready to light it up. But he's invisible. He's like the emergency exit no one wants to touch, even as the building burns. Garrett's out here playing like a defensive player of the year. The defense is elite, the energy is electric, and all of it's being wasted by an offense that couldn't score at a kid's birthday party. And that opening drive, man, that was the tease of the century. Perfect rhythm, clean passes, fast tempo, and a touchdown that made everyone believe, finally, maybe this is it. But as always, with Cleveland, the hope didn't last long. And then, boom, radio silence. The offense just flatlined. The Patriots adjusted, dropped back, dared Dillon Gabriel to throw deep, and he just couldn't. The man's deep ball vanished like an urban legend. It's out there somewhere, probably chilling with Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. Stefanski's on the sideline muttering about trusting the process, while the process is literally catching fire in real time.
As a veteran, what's impressed you the most on how he's approached the game?
All the time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building, and almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach, and making sure that he's ready for his moment when he gets called up. And I appreciate that level of maturity and attention.
This is the maddening part. The defense isn't just holding it together, they're dominating. They're giving Cleveland every chance to win, and yet the offense keeps dragging them down like an anchor tied to a jet. Football's supposed to be a team sport, but when one side keeps bailing water while the other pokes holes in the boat, resentment builds. Fast! Garrett's out there throwing his body on the line, chasing greatness, breaking records, setting standards, and for what? Accountability matters. And right now, there's none. RG3 said it loud and clear. When your coach refuses to hold your quarterback accountable, you lose the locker room. And that's exactly what's happening. Players see it, the favoritism, the blind loyalty, the obsession with being right instead of winning. You can only expect the defense to bite their tongues for so long before frustration turns into pure apathy. That's the real danger. Not losing games, but losing belief. And that same denial is what's keeping Shedeur Sanders glued to the bench like a forgotten lottery ticket. Imagine sitting there week after week.
Look like it's getting nasty with the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett upset. Kevin Stefanski bullshitting about putting Shedeur Sanders in. And my thing is, Myles Garrett, you took the money. I know you didn't have no other choice, but you took the bread. Deal with it. Deal with it. 5 sacks in one game. Y'all still lost to the Patriots. Deal with it. Take your money. Be happy with it. They ain't want to let you go. That's one thing about an NFL contract.
Watching your offense self-destruct in slow motion, knowing you could flip the script, but nobody calls your name. The whole country's watching, waiting, begging for change, and Stefanski just keeps doubling down like he's allergic to progress. At this point, it's not about performance, it's about pride. And the fans? Oh, they're done pretending. Cleveland has officially hit all 5 stages of grief at once. Anger, denial, bargaining, despair, and memes. Twitter looks like a group therapy session gone viral. People are photoshopping Garrett's helmet into protest signs, tweeting like they're leading a digital revolution. The city's cracking jokes through the pain because that's all that's left to do when your coach refuses to listen.
And it's going to show us in real time you don't know what you're talking about because you told us in the draft this was your hand-picked quarterback. It is the exact reason Shedeur Sanders doesn't get reps because he's going to give every opportunity for Dillon Gabriel to throw his way out of purgatory. It's the reason he dropped back 58 times against the Steelers. The jig is up, Kevin. We understand what it is. We get it. And when you don't have Quinshon Judkins to prop him up, you see what happens. The offense is terrible. Kevin Stefanski has been outcoached by all types of coaches. The offense is JV, high school, Lakewood, St. Ed's.
It's absolute chaos. But let's be honest, it's earned chaos. What else are Browns fans supposed to do at this point? They've seen this movie play out for decades, just with different faces and the same tragic ending. Stefanski keeps preaching consistency, but in Cleveland, consistency just means being bad in the same exact way every single season. The locker room tension? Oh, it's real. Garrett's out here breaking records while the coach is breaking spirits, tossing out the same recycled post-game cliches like a broken motivational speaker. At this point, even the Gatorade bottles are probably ready for a quarterback change. And what makes it even wilder is how obvious the solution is. Everyone knows what has to happen. It's not rocket science. The Browns need a reset, a real one, not another "we'll figure it out after the bye" speech that fools no one. They need a new voice, real leadership, and a quarterback who can actually scare a defense instead of giving them confidence.
Look, if y'all don't understand that Shedeur Sanders is being racially profiled, in the NFL, then you don't understand. Kevin Stefanski is definitely trying to make sure this man's career does not flourish. How Dillon Gabriel as a QB2 got first team reps and everything. Shedeur, he's QB2, and you don't give it to him like everything somebody got to step in. Something has to be done. Browns fans, y'all need to boycott Cleveland, the football team.
And guess what? That quarterback might already be sitting right there on the roster. Shedeur Sanders has everything this team is missing: poise, vision, confidence, mobility, and pure fire. Sure, he's unproven in the NFL, but so was every great QB before someone took a chance. The Browns need that spark, that we're done playing scared kind of energy. But Stefanski, he can't let go, because if Shedeur comes in and thrives, it proves him wrong about Dillon Gabriel. And for this coach, being wrong seems worse than losing. 5 sacks, one-man show, 0 wins. Those numbers don't lie. If that doesn't scream we have a problem, then what does? Yet Stefanski still stands there, talking about progress like he's watching a different game. That's not optimism, that's delusion with a clipboard. And the fans, Oh, they've been sold the same next year dream since 1999. How many more next years can one city take before they start demanding right now? The patience is gone, the faith is fading, and the city of Cleveland is tired of waiting for a miracle that never comes. Garrett's got every right to be furious. And RG3, he's absolutely right to call it out.
A guy like Shedeur Sanders, every chance Kevin Stefanski has gotten to put him down, to not put him in a position to be successful, he's done it. Kevin Stefanski owes it to the locker room to give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity to compete, have a pathway to the field, no different than any other player. But what Kevin Stefanski is telling all of us straight to our faces is that Dillon Gabriel is his.
Because this isn't about one bad game. It's about a whole culture of mediocrity being disguised as patience. The Browns keep selling fans hope wrapped in heartbreak, and everyone's finally seeing through it. Cleveland's got the pieces to be special. The defense is built like a championship unit, and the energy in that locker room could light up the city, but the man in charge refuses to rearrange the puzzle. Every loss like this isn't just a scoreline. It's a painful reminder of what could have been. A defense built to dominate, an offense built to disappoint, and a head coach too scared to pull the trigger on the obvious fix. At some point, the front office has to open its eyes. Every sign, every stat, every headline, every locker room whisper is screaming for change. The players know it, the fans definitely know it, even the analytics know it, but Stefanski, he's out here acting like he's reading a completely different playbook. And until he's gone, this team's just gonna keep spinning in circles. Talented, passionate, but cursed by their own leadership. Myles Garrett deserves a coach who matches his fire, not one who throws water on it every week. RG3 isn't overreacting, he's just saying what everyone else is too scared to say out loud. And maybe, just maybe.
Talk about the fake back tightness. Kevin's horrific head coach. Hey man, I believe him. If Shedeur say his back hurt, I'm gonna take his word for it. His guy Boogie said his back was hurt, I'm gonna take his word for it. And you know what? I ain't even mad at it, because I don't want Shedeur Sanders coming in to be some sort of field. So no, if Dillon Gabriel is your starting quarterback, like I said last week, you let him finish the game. When you put Shedeur Sanders in, create a game plan for him and let him cook. We're not going to play these little games back and forth all the time. Let Dillon Gabriel stand on his own merits. If he's starting quarterback, let him fight through his situation and you get him ready.
The answer's been sitting right there on the bench this whole time. The Browns don't need a miracle. They need courage. The courage to bench the mistake, the courage to free the future, the courage to finally let Shedeur Sanders cook. Because if 5 sacks can't save this team, maybe a quarterback change can. Or maybe Cleveland's just addicted to chaos. And that's the scary part. This chaos doesn't feel temporary anymore. It feels normal. The Browns have turned dysfunction into a routine, like it's part of the weekly game plan. Every Sunday, it's the same script. Garrett saves the day, the offense forgets how to play, and Stefanski smiles through another press conference like he's coaching in an alternate universe. Fans aren't even shocked anymore, they're numb. Social media has turned into a mix of comedy and crisis management. People are posting memes of Shedeur Sanders photoshopped with angel wings, calling him the bench messiah. Everyone's waiting for him to take over, because deep down, they know the moment he steps in, the whole vibe changes. It's not even about talent at this point. It's about energy.
That answer made no sense to me. That made no sense, and I'll be honest with you, I think he knew it made no sense.
Okay, so wait.
There's no defending that kind of answer.
No, there isn't. So are you making the suggestion? Anyways, I don't even know. You might be dead on the money on this one. Okay, I want to flesh this thing out completely here. That Stefanski will play Dillon Gabriel, and if they at any point say you have to go to Shedeur, he'll just continue to say no and no and no, and you know the end result of that.
Yes,
he's asking to get fired.
Yes, or I think there's a lot
like mid-season he's asking to get fired. Either I play Dillon Gabriel and I'm not moving to Shedeur, and if you want me to move to Shedeur,
you can feel it building like a storm hovering over Cleveland. The fans want it, the defense wants it, even the stadium walls probably want it. But Stefanski's pride is holding the whole city hostage. The man's so focused on being right, he's blind to what's happening in front of him. Garrett's fury isn't just about one loss, it's about years of watching greatness wasted. He's looking around at a team that should be feared and realizing it's just frustrating. And when a player like him starts showing cracks in his patience, that's when you know the dam's about to burst. All eyes are on that locker room now. Will the players keep quiet? Or will someone finally snap and say what everyone's been thinking? Because once that happens, once the veterans speak up, Stefanski's control is gone, and you can feel it. That moment's coming. Cleveland's reaching its breaking point. One more embarrassing loss, one more stubborn press conference, and the storm's gonna hit full force. The question isn't if a change is coming. It's who will trigger it first. The fans, the players, or the man brave enough to finally put Shedeur Sanders in the game. Either way, it's time for someone in that building to finally make the hard call before every helmet on that sideline ends up flying through the air like Garrett's. The warning signs are flashing bright.
Garrett completely separated himself from his team yesterday after getting 5 sacks in one game. Myles, I know you're upset, but we have to go through this film because this is textbook rushing the quarterback right here. Look at this Euro step, and then he smacks the ball down. I want y'all to understand, he made the Pro Bowl off of this play alone, okay? Watch how he sticks his foot into the ground right here at the top, boom, and then he does it again, resets to get past the other defender just to get to the quarterback. It doesn't get any better than that. It's not going to stop the fact that they're just a bad team, but we have to appreciate greatness, even if it's packaged.
The ship's taking on water, and the captain's still steering full speed ahead into disaster. Cleveland's out of time. It's now or never. Free Shedeur. Save Garrett. Save the locker room. And for the love of everything holy in football, save the Browns from themselves. This team has too much talent to keep sinking under bad choices. Every fan can feel it. This isn't just another slump. It's a cry for help from a city that's tired of heartbreak. The Browns have the fire, the roster, the spark. They just need the courage to pull the trigger and let Shedeur Sanders take control. Imagine the energy shift, the comeback story, the city roaring again with pride. That's what Cleveland deserves, not another press conference filled with excuses and delusion. If the front office can't see it, the fans will make them. Because the patience is gone, the loyalty's cracking, and this time, the people want change. Garrett's done enough. The defense has done enough. Now it's time for the offense to step up or step aside. So, Browns Nation, what do you think? Should Shedeur Sanders finally get his shot? Has Stefanski pushed this team past the point of no return? Or is this just the calm before the biggest shakeup Cleveland's seen in years? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear every take, every opinion, every piece of passion from the Dog Pound. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you're ready to see real change in Cleveland. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.